Welcome to tonight's broadcast of the American Ultimate Disc League on UniversePointProductions.com. We have the 9-3 Minnesota Wind Chill facing off against the 4-7 Indianapolis AlleyCats tonight here at Roncalli High School. Jared Boomer and Blake Vanderbush with you tonight on UniversePointProductions.com. And Blake, starting with the Wind Chill, they don't necessarily score a ton of goals on offense, but they are very good on defense, forcing most teams in the teens as far as points that they'll score. The AlleyCats have one of the higher point totals against the Wind Chill this season with 25, so how do they try and create that same amount of offense tonight?
The AlleyCats have a really structured offense. They know what they want to do, so they have a vertical stack that they like to run with lots of strikes and just a lot of movement and everyone kind of contributing. So they're going to key in on that, and hopefully with good offense, again, they're less worried about the goal number that they get to and more worried about just staying ahead of the Wind Chill.
And two of the best players for the Wind Chill are Ryan Osgar and also Josh Klain. Klain has 58 goals on the season. Osgar has 36. So how do the AlleyCats try and stop both of them tonight?
So Josh Klain, to start off with, he's a big thrower. So he can throw it to the end zone from pretty much anywhere on the field. He has a good forehand. He has a good backhand. He has great hucks. So what you want to do with him is try to deny the disc as much as you can. Try to play disc denial where you kind of have your back to the disc and don't let him touch it. So that's the key for the defense, is to not let him touch it. Ryan Osgar is a guy who's a little bit more athletic, and he can get the disc when he wants to. So he's a good facilitator and obviously has good throws with 36 assists.
And another development that has happened is the Minnesota Wind Chill obviously traveling all the way from Minnesota. This game is on a Friday, so a weekday night game. Some of the players arrived a little bit late to warm-ups here at Roncalli High School. So do you think that will affect them maybe early on in this game, first, second quarter?
Yeah, driving all the way from Minnesota, you're in the car for 10 hours with not much movement. Again, your legs can really feel that after a little bit while. So you want some time to warm up, and they didn't have a whole lot of time. They were getting here 25 to 30 minutes before the game started. And again, you don't have time to go through that progression that you want where you're getting all your throws in and you're getting your legs warm. So if the AlleyCats can take advantage of that early on in the game, it's going to be big for them.
And Rick Gross for the AlleyCats is at 47 goals on the season. Do you think we'll see him surpass that 50-goal mark here tonight?
Unless something crazy happens, and I don't want to jinx it, I think he will pass that tonight. They've got to double team him if they want to stop him. I think he's that good of a player. So if their offense is clicking tonight, he's going to get 50.
Again, the Minnesota Wind Chill and the Indianapolis AlleyCats here this evening at Roncalli High School. We'll take a quick break. You are watching the Minnesota Wind Chill versus the Indianapolis AlleyCats on UniversePointProductions.com, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
We would like to take a moment to thank our sponsors. Today's broadcast is presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Find your local Marion County agent at infarmbureau.com. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood. Today's broadcast is also brought to you in part by Health Zone Chiropractic. Enter the zone of peak performance and all-around great health. 5 Ultimate, supporting Ultimate from the end zone to the dance floor. Disc Store, offering the best service and best price on Ultimate gear guaranteed. BE Ultimate, Ultimate players making Ultimate gear for the Ultimate community. Layout Ultimate, the most durable Ultimate gloves. Layout Ultimate, what the pros wear. Indiana Ultimate Foundation, supporting Ultimate at all levels in the state of Indiana. And of course, the Indianapolis AlleyCats.
First apartment. Dog named Bella. Boyfriend, TJ. With the sweet ride and the bad secrets. Exit TJ. Hey, it's Eric. Wedding, Eric Jr., new house. Luckily, once a year, Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance checks to see if we're paying too much or cover too little.
Find an agent and stop knocking on wood.
Here are your starting lineups brought to you by Health Zone Chiropractic. The Indianapolis AlleyCats starting on offense tonight. Number 1, Keenan Plew. Number 2, Rick Gross. Number 3, Cameron Brock. Number 5, Aaron Schwartz. Number 19, Spencer Loskar. Number 22, Kyle Cox. And number 37, Travis Carpenter. The starting offense for the Indianapolis AlleyCats tonight. The Minnesota Wind Chill will start on defense. Number 9, Jay Drescher. Number 12, Danny Cullum. Number 16, Brian Schroenrock. Number 21, Colin Barry. Number 22, Charlie McCutcheon. Number 34, Jimmy Kittleson. And number 66, Jason Cheetah. Those were our starting lineups brought to you by Health Zone Chiropractic. Dr. John Rimple and Health Zone Chiropractic are proud to support and provide peak performance for Ultimate in Central Indiana. Visit them online at healthzonechiro.net. That's healthzonechiro.net.
Cheap furniture. Nice game system. New job. Steady girlfriend. Wedding. Dog that serves as a practice child. Little kid. Little kids. Oh. Big kids. Big changes. So, once a year, Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance checks to see if we're paying too much or covered too little.
Find an agent and stop knocking on wood.
Hey everybody, this summer Zigzag Ultimate is putting on its first ever Youth Ultimate Summer Camp. It's going to be an awesome time. I will be there coaching. I'm very, very much looking forward to it. It's going to be a great time. Go to zigzagultimate.com for all the details.
Here comes the opening poll brought to you by the Indiana Ultimate Foundation. The IUF's mission is to promote the growth and development of Ultimate at all levels in the state of Indiana. Learn more about the IUF at www.indianaultimatefoundation.com. The Indianapolis AlleyCats, the Minnesota Wind Chill tonight. AlleyCats are starting on offense this evening as the Wind Chill just about ready to break their huddle and come out onto the field, as we are just about ready for tonight's game. AlleyCats looking to get off to a quick start. As we mentioned, some of the Wind Chill players a little late arriving this evening, so limited warm-up time for them, and that may be something that the AlleyCats can take advantage of early on in this contest. And we are just about ready to go. Minnesota trying to improve their playoff position with this game. A win would definitely help them out in that area. And Minnesota also going into the sun here. Wind, there's a little breeze, not too much though at this point. We'll see if that comes into play as we are underway. Taking about the 25-yard line. AlleyCats working in around on offense. Travis Carpenter has it now. Gets it to about midfield, where Kyle Cox is. Back to Carpenter. Deflected, and the Wind Chill will take over. AlleyCats go on defense. Over on the left side of the field now. AlleyCats doing a pretty good job defensively. It's handling for Minnesota now. Jimmy Kittleson up to midfield. Carpenter right on the offensive player for the AlleyCats, Colin Barry. And that is the first goal of the evening, scored by the Wind Chill. Nice pass there by the Wind Chill on offense, and they get on the board first.
Yeah, not the start that you want if you're the AlleyCats. The Wind Chill come out with a little bit of a zone where they're guarding space, and the AlleyCats didn't adjust, had that turnover, and as you can see here, the Wind Chill get a nice throw. Spencer Loskar laying out just right past him. But again, the AlleyCats, you know that they're coming out just right out of their cars, right off the bus, and didn't have much time to play. You need to come out more mentally focused. So yeah, a little disappointing, but it's early.
Quick goal there. AlleyCats will now receive the pull from the Wind Chill.
One note, now we'll have the handlers for the AlleyCats looking into the sun, which can play a factor.
Minnesota gets ready to throw. And the disc is away. Kind of a sidearm throw there that goes out of bounds.
Yeah, they went with the roller pull there and probably setting up either a double team or no, they're back in the zone again.
Blue handling for the AlleyCats. Now gets it to Carpenter. Kyle Cox has it. Cameron Brock at about 35 to Cox. Nice throw there to close to midfield. Now back to Cox, over to Carpenter. Back to Blue.
Not a whole lot of defensive pressure here from the wind chill. They're just happy with making them make a lot of throws.
Rick Gross is open down the field. Now the wind chill defenders come back to him. Carpenter fakes the throw.
A little bit of a scooper throw there from Keenan Plew.
AlleyCats advancing it up the field. So now Plew has it. About 10 yards away from the end zone. Oh, Brock catches it. Now back to Plew. Brock has it. And that is a goal. Nice job there by the AlleyCats. Carpenter reaching out to grab that one close to the out-of-bounds marker, but he stayed in. And Brock on the assist on that one, and the game is tied up at 1.
Much better offense by the AlleyCats there. A lot of patience until they finally got Minnesota to make that fire call where they went man-to-man. And once they did that near the end zone, if you have athletic players like Travis Carpenter who can get open, then you're in a pretty good position.
Carpenter with a nice one-handed grab there. And we're tied at 1. As now the wind chill will receive once again. Again, that sun still high in the sky. Could be a factor here. Nice pull there by the AlleyCats. So now it's about the 15-yard line for the wind chill. Manuka has it now. Back to the middle of the field to Klein. Pass is deflected by the AlleyCats. Gramhold has it. This could be an easy score. And threw it away. AlleyCats will double team now as Minnesota is on their own goal line. They do get it out of the end zone. Burkhardt has it now. And now Lean. AlleyCats playing tight defense as Minnesota is backed up. That disc is dropped. And the AlleyCats will take over on the goal line. And now a whistle.
Looks like that may have been a pick in the end zone. I'm guessing that they're going to have to back up 10 yards from there.
So they'll take it to about the 25. And another score for the AlleyCats. Ringwood to Granholm on that score, and the AlleyCats lead 2-1.
Yeah, we got the replay here. Granholm kind of throws it out to space, and Colin Ringwood has to lay out for it. But right after that, Dana was open on that strike throw. So good offense there. I'm sure Dana is happy to make up for that miscue early on. He was the one who, right after they got the turn, he threw it away. So for him to get the goal, he's probably a little bit better, a little bit happier about what happened earlier in the point.
Nice job there by the AlleyCats, and Blake, that really all started with the good defense they put on Minnesota when they had the possession, backed them up to their own goal line.
Yeah, a lot of pressure. Again, the handlers were looking into the sun, so that I'm sure that played a factor, but good defense by the AlleyCats as well.
Wind chill will go the other way now, as that pole hangs in the air. Come down about the 25-yard line. Nice deflection there and a grab by the AlleyCats. Casper Zicki with the deflection. And the disc hits the ground, so the Windshield will take over. As they set it up, Austin Lean will handle. Now to Josh Klain. Klain has a man open on a breakaway. Nice deflection there by the AlleyCats to prevent the score. AlleyCats take back over. Up on the 25. AlleyCats moving it nicely. Nice rip there by Levi Jacobs. Couple guys going to go up for it. And caught. Goal by the AlleyCats. John Winger. And that all started with a great throw from Levi Jacobs, just airing it out down the field there.
It looked really pretty. It probably didn't go exactly how he wanted it to. It hung for a little bit longer. Whenever you have that grouping underneath, that's not the throw that you necessarily want to make. But again, when you have tall guys like John Winger that can come down with it, he makes the thrower look good.
AlleyCats lead 3-1. A good start here, too, by the AlleyCats, Blake, after that initial goal by the Windchill. They've come back and responded their last few possessions.
Yeah, it's been a little bit sloppy. There's been turnovers by both teams back and forth. We haven't really had a clean point yet, it doesn't seem like. But the replay, you should see Casper Zicki making a huge D, layout D, and yeah, again, the AlleyCats got to be happy they're up 3-1.
Windchill will take it in their own end zone. As the AlleyCats play tight defense. Now the Windchill have an open man down the field. Receiving that is Brian Schockenrock. And the Windchill answer right back with a goal of their own very quickly, just a couple of passes, and the Windchill have another point up on the board.
Yeah, that all started with a huge throw by Jay Drescher. He loves that backhand, and he loves throwing it to Brian Schoenrock, they play club together, and they've played together for many years, so they're very familiar with each other.
We will take a quick break.
Today's broadcast is brought to you by the Indiana Ultimate Foundation. The IUF's mission is to promote the growth and development of Ultimate at all levels in the state of Indiana. Visit them online at indianaultimatefoundation.com.
The AlleyCats and the Windchill here at Roncalli High School. AlleyCats lead at 3-2, about halfway through the first quarter. And they are about to receive the disc once again. As the pull is away. Bounces, and the AlleyCats will take it. Keenan Plew has it. Now up to Rick Gross. Windchill with some tight defense. Carpenter. AlleyCats trying to get something going offensively. Up to about midfield now. Nice throw from Rick Gross, headed toward the end zone as Plew, and Plew is able to snag it in. Gross to Plew on that one, and the AlleyCats answer right back.
If you notice on that point, Jay Drescher, the defender for the Windchill on Keenan Plew, was playing a little bit underneath. He was playing 5 yards underneath, and partly because Keenan's a shorter player, and so you don't expect him to go deep as much. So he wasn't really respecting him, and when that happens, Keenan can take off, and he's actually better in the air than you would think for being such a short guy. And I can say that because I'm friends with him.
AlleyCats up by 2 here early on. You see Rick Gross there, getting some water after a great offensive effort. He'll take a little bit of a break as the AlleyCats go back on defense. Pull is away, floating out of bounds. And it will stay in there just by about a yard or two. Winchell have it now. There's a man on a breakaway. Greg Cousins. Cousins into the end zone. And Caleb Denacor with the score. So, Blake, we've seen here early on quick possessions by both teams. Not a lot of passes needed to get the disc in the end zone.
Yeah, there's a little bit of wind, and there were a few sloppy plays at the beginning, but they're really honing in their throws right now. The deep game seems to be working for both teams. The defense, at least on that last point, there's a little bit of a miscommunication. They let one guy go deep, and when that happens, when you're only 10 to 15 yards outside the end zone, it's easy from there.
So the AlleyCats will take back over on offense. Good crowd on hand, too, for tonight's game. Carpenter has it now at about the 25 to Brock. Oscar at midfield. Back to Carpenter. Carpenter, and some miscommunication there as Plu didn't turn around, and the Winchell take over. So now Collum has it. Over to Barry. And a little bit of a push there. So that'll move it up. Back over to the middle of the field. On the left side, nice throw. And that is in for a score. Winchell get another point on the board there as Jay Drescher completes it to Schoenrock.
Again, two guys that have played together quite a bit. You'll see here on the replay. He's looking for him right away, and he's got that backhand over Keenan Plu. A shorter mark couldn't stop that.
One thing is consistent. Things change. When they do, your insurance should too. An Indiana Farm Bureau insurance agent can review your current policy and check to see if you're paying too much or covered too little. Find your local Marion County agent at infarmbureau.com. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood.
Back here at Roncalli High School, between the Minnesota Winchell and the Indianapolis AlleyCats. Game tied at 4. It's been a competitive game so far here in this first quarter. We thought maybe Minnesota would struggle with having a little less warm-up time and also the long drive, but they've come out strong here to start. The AlleyCats take that at about the 40-yard line. Plu has it. Over to midfield, Kyle Cox. And the Winchell will take over there.
A little bit of sloppy play early. I think the wind is having more of an effect than it looks like. You see these discs hanging up a little bit longer and popping up, and these are good throwers, so you don't normally see those turnovers.
Especially when the disc is going from right to left. That's the direction the wind's blowing in, so that is definitely affecting it. So Winchell have it now. McCutcheon over to Burkhart. And now Feldman has it. Burkhart to Feldman. Feldman drops it. And the AlleyCats will take over. As the disc continues to roll because of that wind. Plu will handle. And a timeout. As that is Danny Cullum heading back to the Winchell sideline.
In the event of an injury timeout, both teams are
Gross is on for Jacobs. Has the AlleyCats trying to score again. Plew. And that is in for a score. Cameron Brock on the reception there from Plew.
Known around here as the classic connection. Keenan Plew and Cameron Brock have played together for a long time, and when they're near the end zone, they know where the other one wants them and where they should be each time. So, again, replay right here. Keenan likes that backhand around, and Cameron knows he's right next to that goal line.
Nice score there for the AlleyCats. Now the Windshield will receive the pull. AlleyCats going against the wind here. Sun starting to come down too, so it's a little bit less of a factor now than it was at the beginning of the game. That'll be taken about the 20. Josh Quain has it now. Over to Burkhart. AlleyCats playing tight defensively. Now up to Osgar. Osgar double teamed. Over to Burkhart. Nice grab there by Cousins to keep it alive. Pass a little bit high over to Klein. Now Vanuka has it. And the AlleyCats will take over. Good defense there. And another whistle. And a timeout by the AlleyCats.
Timeout allows for the entire line to be subbed out, so the AlleyCats are using that to their advantage. They're going to put 7 offensive players in now that they have the disc. The defense did a good job of getting it back, and now the offense can come in and try to score a goal.
AlleyCats lead it by 1, 5-4. About 3 minutes left to go here in this first quarter. And if either team gets a Callahan in today's game, 5 Ultimate will offer a 10% discount from their store for the next 24 hours. If a Callahan happens, we will be given the code and we'll share it with our viewers. Both teams discussing some strategy now. The AlleyCats will have it out of this timeout.
I think it's a big point for the AlleyCats if they can get that 2-goal lead early and then hopefully roll from there. But they've got their offensive line out there. They've got the best players in for this position. And, yeah, it'll be big for them.
AlleyCats ready to take back over. Just about ready to go here. So now Plew handles it. Over to Carpenter. Carpenter up to Oscar. Deflected, and Schwartz has it. Now Winchill back the other way. Picked up. Eric Johnson has it. Back to the middle of the field to Barry. Barry over to Drescher. Now to McCutcheon. McCutcheon. AlleyCats with some good defense. And now wide open in the end zone is Jimmy Kittleson. And Kittleson scores for the wind chill. See it here, nice throw from Barry.
So yeah, an unfortunate miscue there on offense. The wind must be having more of an effect than I would have guessed, because there's a lot of people that are juggling the disc, and throws that you would not expect them to drop, they're dropping. So something to keep an eye on throughout the night. Again, it could just be it's early in the game and people haven't really settled in yet, but some uncharacteristic miscues so far.
AlleyCats will receive the pull here. We go out of bounds. Blue will take it. Coming up to the brick. And now ready to go, Blue. To Ames. Back to Blue. Ames has it. Ames in the middle of the field now to Jacobs. Granholm is open, and Granholm scores. Nice score there from Jacobs to Granholm.
They put on a few new offensive players there. A few guys moved over from the D-line to the O-line there because it was the second point in a row that the offense had to play. So Levi Jacobs and Dana Granholm, two guys you'll see mostly on the D-line, playing a big part on that offensive point. Levi, I think he liked that backhand a little bit better than his first one. Didn't hang as much, went right to the receiver. Yeah, good throw.
Another goal for the AlleyCats.
Make sure this Thursday you check out Query and Schultz from 3 to 7 p.m. Fox Sports 97.5 FM, 1260 a.m. Number 3, Cameron
90 seconds left to go here in this first quarter.
3 to 7 p.m. on Thursday, 97.5 FM, 1260 a.m.
AlleyCats looking into the sun for this pull. Carpenter's with the pull. And the wind chill will take it. Pulled down the field. Open man is Greg Cousins. Cousins racing toward the end zone. And Jones, nice defense to prevent the score.
That's what Josh Klein will give you. Is he's a deep thrower who can make those throws from all over the field, but he's a little bit of a gunslinger, so he'll have some of those turnovers deep.
Carpenter will take it out to Casper Zicki. AlleyCats trying to get another goal before the end of the first quarter here. Waskar has it. Now to Jacobs. Tough catch there for Jacobs. Jacobs. Over to Fella, and Fella is in. Nice throw there from Jacobs to Fella, and the AlleyCats go up by 2.
If I'm not mistaken, that's 3 assists now for Levi Jacobs. He threw that to Jake Fella. Jake Fella's a recent Purdue alum who just got invited to play on the under-24 national team, which is a big honor for him and kind of our community. Every time we have somebody who's playing on the national team, that's good for Indiana Ultimate.
Very cool. AlleyCats up by 2 as we approach the end of this first quarter. AlleyCats with the pull here. Carpenter will pull it. And it landed in. So the wind chill will bring it out. Coming up, clock running. Wind chill over on the left side. Osgar. Denacor has it. He's double teamed. Sideline being used. There's a third defender there. And it works out well as the AlleyCats take back over with 15 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Gross. Gross is double teamed. Gets it to Carpenter. Carpenter. And a nice score there by Cox.
Some good footwork there at the end of this play by Kyle Cox. He knows he's near the end zone line. He tapped his toes on just the right side of the end zone for the goal.
Nice job there by the AlleyCats to score with only a couple of seconds left in the first quarter. Carpenter right to Cox.
So with 6 seconds left, the wind chill are going to probably try to get 1 or 2 passes to midfield, and then it'll be one throw to the end zone to some of their taller players. I'm sure they have some of their bigger cutters out there on this line just because they know it's going to be 1 or 2 passes and then a jump ball.
Carpenter gets ready for the pull, relaying some instructions.
On the flip side, the AlleyCats are going to put out some of their taller players because they can also expect that's going to be the strategy for the wind chill.
Carpenter with the pull. Clock will start on the catch. McLean towards the end zone. Lots of guys going for it. And the AlleyCats do a nice job to grab that. And that is how the first quarter will end. So at the end of one, it is the AlleyCats 8 and the wind chill 5. We will take a quick break. You are watching the Minnesota Wind Chill versus the Indianapolis AlleyCats on UniversePointProductions.com, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
First apartment. Dog named Bella. Boyfriend, TJ. With the sweet ride and the bad secrets. Exit TJ. Hey, it's Eric. Wedding, Eric Jr., new house. Luckily, once a year, Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance checks to see if we're paying too much or cover too little.
Find an agent and stop knocking on wood.
Welcome back here at Roncalli High School for the Indianapolis AlleyCats versus the Minnesota Wind Chill. It is 8-5. The AlleyCats lead it by 3 here in the second quarter. As we get ready to go with the second quarter. A little bit of a sloppy start there for the AlleyCats, but they picked it up as they got toward the end of that quarter there, Blake, and come out of the quarter with a 3-goal lead.
Yeah, they've got to be happy with that start. At least how the first quarter ended with that 3-goal lead. That's big for them. If they can stay on top consistently throughout the game, then that's going to be huge. Again, we already noted a few times the wind chill didn't have a whole lot of time to warm up, and we saw some sloppy play early. I think the wind is having some effect on the disc and the ability for these receivers to catch. So, again, if the AlleyCats are just a little bit crisper, have a little bit better throws, a little bit better catches from here on out with that 3-goal lead, they're in a good position.
Getting ready to start the second quarter.
I believe we're going to have the AlleyCats coming out on defense to start this quarter.
And today's broadcast is brought to you by Zigzag Ultimate. Zigzag Ultimate runs youth camps and adult clinics in Grand Rapids, Michigan, offering both overnight and day camp options. Campers will be coached by some of the best players in the world, including the AlleyCats' own Travis Carpenter. Find out more at zigzagultimate.com. Ready to go here in the second quarter.
Pretty good weather though overall. Not much to complain about. It was really hot today, but temperature's going down. Not a whole lot of wind. Good throwers can throw through this, so it's going to be a high-scoring game, I predict.
AlleyCats with the pull here to start the second quarter. And the wind chill will take it. Wind chill trying to get some offense going here to start the second quarter. Over to Osgar. Osgar, and that is caught. Denacor with the grab. And just like that, Minnesota answers.
Really good vision by Osgar. He that flick release over the entire field, again, over all of those defenders is not an easy throw, but he saw somebody breaking over to that force side, and he made a really good throw.
And that goal was brought to you by Zigzag Ultimate. Find out more about Zigzag Ultimate summer camps at zigzagultimate.com.
One other note, Caleb Denacor is he's a little bit of an interesting situation. He originally played on the Austin Soul this year, and he's one of the few players that's actually transitioned mid-season to another team. So yeah, interesting little fact about him.
That's kind of odd, switching teams in the middle of the season.
You don't see that too often. Like other leagues, you see it with trades and whatnot. But
yeah,
I think it came down to his wife possibly moving for work, and so he had to relocate.
Gotcha. That throw out of bounds. And the AlleyCats will take over. Plu has it. To Carpenter. To Gross. Gross controlling now. Keen and Plu is in. Oh, very close, very close. And a wide open throw to Aaron Schwartz, and the AlleyCats get another goal.
Good throw there by Cameron Brock down the sideline. Again, they've played together quite a bit. They know where the other person is on the field at all times. So Keenan probably should have milked that for just another step longer, and it would have been a goal. But right on the goal line, it's pretty easy to finish it from there.
This week, you answered #Dinner for Donna.
AlleyCats up by 4 now.
So Mama, Donna Cox will be receiving dinner tonight. Courtesy of the AlleyCats. So give Mama Cox a huge round of applause.
As they are about ready for the pull.
Where you at, Mama Cox? Stand up so our waiters know where you're at for lunchtime or halftime. There we go, right there. All right. Your personal waiter will see you at halftime.
Jacobs with the pull. Picked up by the wind chill. Over on the right side, Osgar to Denacor. Back to the middle of the field now. And Burkhart dropped the disc there, so the AlleyCats will take back over. Ames will pick it up for the AlleyCats. The D there by Greg Cousins. Winchell close to the end zone. And in. Cousins with the score.
A little bit of a cheeky throw there from Josh Klein over the top. He had a high release flick, and that really set them up. The cutter who caught that just had a wide open space on the break side to kind of fit in. Let's see, right there. And then again, it's easy when you get that close to the end zone.
So the AlleyCats will go back on offense. as the wind chill get ready to pull.
A little bit of a roller pull again for the wind chill.
That one goes out of bounds. Poole will take it. Nice one-handed grab. Carpenter. Back to Brock. To Schwartz. Brock has it now. That throw is too far for Plu.
Ambitious throw there. I think he was at a high stall count, so it was kind of a last resort. Probably had one or two throws he could have made before that, but after he looked those off, he knew he had to make some throw.
And so now the AlleyCats will go on defense. Coming back the other way are the wind chill. Deflected by the AlleyCats. Nice job as Plu has it.
Cameron Brock wanted to make up for that throw by getting that big D right there for the AlleyCats.
Fanuka has it. Schwartz. Carpenter now. And that throw a little too far in the end zone too.
They haven't quite gotten the wind down, and it's gusting a little bit, so a few of these throws have just been a little too much heat on them and traveled out the back of the end zone.
Now the wind chill will take over. Up to midfield. To Drescher. Coma. And deflected. AlleyCats back on offense. Both teams playing some aggressive defense. AlleyCats will take back over. Plu has it. Plu over on the left side of the field. Boskar has it. Boskar over to Gross. And Cox is in for the score.
Longest point of the night, multiple turnovers for each team. That really came down to almost a war of attrition. Who was going to be able to have legs at the end of that point, and luckily the AlleyCats got it kind of in the red zone and were able to punch it in right there.
Nice point by the AlleyCats. Cox with the score.
AlleyCats offense coming off the field looking fairly winded. They're happy that they don't have to play 2 points in a row. Get the D-line out there, let them run for a little bit.
The AlleyCats tonight, pick144photos.com, our official sideline photographer. Don't forget all the amazing
Casper Zicki will pull.
posted all over our social media are brought to you by none other than 144photos.com. I'm going to say it again.
It will roll. The wind chill take it. Klein has it. Klein going towards the end zone. And a nice grab there by Vanuka for the score.
Going right to left, I would imagine we're going to see that a lot tonight from Josh Klein. Again, throwing with the wind where the disc is going to travel. Pretty much anywhere on the field he can hit the end zone. So whenever he sees one of his players going deep, he's going to throw it to him.
Today's broadcast is sponsored by Dr. John Rimple and Health Zone Chiropractic. Proud to support and provide peak performance for Ultimate in Central Indiana. Visit us online at healthzonechiro.net. That's healthzonechiro.net.
About halfway through the second quarter between the AlleyCats and the wind chill. Sun setting now at Roncalli High School. As the wind chill will pull. AlleyCats take it. Nice pull down the field. As it hangs in the air a little bit, but a nice grab by Cameron Brock.
The classic connection once again, Keenan Plew to Cameron Brock. Again, I'll say it, they've played together a long time. Whenever he sees Cameron Brock going deep with a few steps, he's going to put it up.
And Brock scores. Brock, the all-time leader in league history in scores.
He's a guy that's been around for a long time, and each year he's been at least top 10, if not the top goal scorer in the league. So Keenan Plew is also well known for throwing goals, so he leads the league in assists, and those two together are a dynamic threat for the AlleyCats.
AlleyCats pull now. As they try to work it up now. Denacor has it, nice grab. AlleyCats controlling. And trying to get a goal of their own, and they do. Osgood with the score there. And Osgar is in.
Pretty good offense there from the wind chill. Denacor kind of saved that point for them, a little bit of a low throw, but he's able to pick it up, and then from there, again, you got a guy streaking deep, and then again, from right to left, we kind of have a wind behind us, or they have the wind behind them, so they can make those throws and make them quick.
Now the wind chill will pull. Wind chill pull it. Pretty short, and the AlleyCats will take it with Plew to Gross. Halfway through the second quarter. Pull towards the end zone, and a nice grab. Schwartz in for the score.
So Cameron Brock, I think we got a replay here. After Rick Gross gets it to him, he sees Aaron Schwartz open with a few steps. He puts up a big backhand in the perfect position where only his player can get it. So great work there by Cameron Brock.
Nice play. As the AlleyCats lead by 3, 12-9. They get ready for the pull now.
Something to keep an eye on is that goal total for the AlleyCats. I know we discussed how the wind chill keep a lot of teams in the teens. The AlleyCats already have 12, and we're only midway through the second quarter.
on a good pace so far. Does the wind chill take it? Good defense by the AlleyCats. Wind chill have it about midfield. Over on the right side. And that is dropped. So the AlleyCats will take back over, trying to extend their lead to 4 goals. Ringwood to Henderson. Henderson. Intercepted there by the wind chill. Nice grab there by Denacor. Minnesota trying for the end zone, and Cousins. And Cousins is able to connect. Beating out Connor Henderson there on defense.
Denacor saving the point once again for the wind chill, and then you see Josh Klein with a lot of confidence in his throws. If we have a replay here, you'll see the disc floats a little bit and kind of pops up there at the last second and then right back down. That's tough to read as both an offensive player and a defensive player, but the offensive player had a step, so he had the advantage and was able to adjust more quickly.
As now the wind chill will pull. Wind chill ready to go. And the AlleyCats received that about the 15. Carpenter has it. Over to Plew. Gross. At the middle of the field. Gross to Brock. Back to Loskar. Plew has it. Close to that out of bounds line. And Plew gets it into Brock.
Those two, again, have played together in a long time, and I'll keep reiterating it each time they do it, but they know where they want to be, or they know where they want the other person, and that person is usually in the right place at the right time. One thing I've noticed is with the AlleyCats offense, they pride themselves on not having necessarily handlers and cutters. They have everyone going through every position, and within the flow of the game, each person can touch the disc and kind of become a handler. And that was very evident on that point, where it was a nice cycle through people and everyone was touching the disc and working it up the field.
AlleyCats up by 3. About 4 minutes till halftime. As they will get ready for the pull. Kasperzicki pulls it. And now the wind chill take over. Cousins has it. Past the midfield mark to Osgar. Osgar going for the end zone and a score.
Pretty smooth offense
Cousins
there for the wind chill. Josh Klein, it looked like he looked off a few deep throws, and I think what was happening is the AlleyCats were starting to sag somebody deep into that space, kind of daring them to throw a big throw on 2 defenders, but they took all the unders and worked it around and made it look easy.
The AlleyCats up by 2 as they're about ready to receive the pole.
AlleyCat fans, let's hear it. Oh, come on. All right, our remaining, hold on. We're going to be contestants for halftime here in just a minute. Just as a heads up, we'll be looking for 5 15-year and older contestants for our halftime game for fan appreciation.
Pole goes out of bounds.
So if you are 15 and up and you would like to participate in our halftime game, head down right there to our amazing number 14.
Blue gets it to Carpenter. Carpenter up to Brock. Brock to Gross, and Gross scores.
Number 3, Cameron.
Second goal by Gross tonight.
Brock. Number 2, Rick.
Got a replay here. Travis hits Cameron, and then Cameron sees Rick deep with a few steps and puts up a big backhand. It's not going to be easy for Rick. He's got, I think, the top defender for Minnesota on him. Brian Schoenrock is a guy you'll see in a lot of highlight videos, and the guy who you'll see at the top of the stat list for total Ds in a year. So if anything, it's got to be flattering for Rick to draw that assignment from the Minnesota wind chill. That just means they respect him a lot and think a lot of his game to try to shut him down.
Wind chill will get ready to receive the pole.
All right, the other first timers, you're out. Sorry.
Carpenter pulls it.
And then pick 3 from the other one.
And the wind chill have it now. Down by 3. Clayton has it. Manuka. Manuka over on the right side now. There's the wind chill. Moving it down. Clayton. Over to Burkhart. Ween has it now. Good defense by the AlleyCats. Osgar controls. Back to the right side of the field. And the wind chill connects. Greg Cousins with the goal.
If you're the AlleyCats, that's got to be a little bit of a moral victory. You at least made them work pretty hard for that. Lots of throws, pretty good defense. Again, they were close on a few of those. Rick Gross had a layout attempt where he was within inches of coming up with a D. Levi Jacobs there laying out for the disc. Again, a little bit of a moral victory. I know they're not going to be happy about that, but yeah.
Today's broadcast is brought to you by the Indiana Ultimate Foundation. The IUF's mission is to promote the growth and development of Ultimate at all levels in the state of Indiana. Visit them online at indianaultimatefoundation.com.
About 2 minutes to go until halftime, 2.5. AlleyCats with a 2-goal lead against the wind chill. Wind chill pull. AlleyCats move it quickly here with Ames. Blue has it. Carpenter. Back to Blue. Over to Brock. Brock up to Gross. Now Blue. Brock has it. Good defense here by the wind chill. Blue to Schwartz. Some contact there.
Contact penalty against Minnesota.
And a 10-yard penalty. Schwartz has it back to Blue. And Carpenter very close to that goal line, and the AlleyCats score. Brock.
Windshield come out in the zone to start off that point. AlleyCats are really patient, work it up most of the way until the Windshield finally go fire. And then at the end here you see Travis Carpenter making a great cut, and then Cameron Brock's always open in the end zone.
Nice play there by the AlleyCats. 1:14 to go until halftime.
These end of quarter situations can be big. If you can score and not let the other team score, it's kind of a mini break for you. So right now the Windshield will be hoping that they can work the clock down a little bit, end up scoring, and then keep the AlleyCats from scoring going into half.
Windshield have it. Up to Klein. Klein is double teamed. Over on the left side of the field. Windshield going pretty quickly here. And they score with Osgar.
Nice smooth offense there for Windshield. Again, 45 seconds left. That's a lot of time. So they didn't really work the clock down that much, but they've got to be happy with the score. Now they've got another opportunity to try to get a D and then maybe another score before half. For the AlleyCats, they've just got to play solid offense. Again, 45 seconds is a long time, so anything can happen, but again, it's big end of quarter situations. If you can score and not let the other team score, it's huge for your momentum.
Windshield get ready for the pull. AlleyCats take it, 40 seconds to go in the half. Blue has it, over to Carpenter. Back to Blue. Oscar. 10 seconds to go. Does the Windshield have one more throw? And that will take us to halftime. And at the half, it is the AlleyCats 15 and the Windshield 13. So Blake, pretty good first half there. Very competitive between both the teams.
Yep, AlleyCats got to be happy that they have a 2-goal lead. A little disappointed there at the end of the half. Again, when you're on offense and you have 49 seconds, you kind of expect a score there. But at least they didn't let the other team score. They didn't let the Windshield get a goal back. So they've got to be happy with the 2-goal lead going into the half.
We'll take a quick break. You're watching the Minnesota Windshield versus the Indianapolis AlleyCats on UniversePointProductions.com, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
Cheap furniture. Nice game system. New job. Steady girlfriend. Wedding. Dog that serves as a practice child. Little kid. Little kids. Oh. Big kids. Big changes. So, once a year, Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance checks to see if we're paying too much or covered too little.
Find an agent and stop knocking on wood.
Now let's take a look at the layout ultimate grip catch of the half. William Kasperzicki with some layout defense here, Blake, sorry.
Yep, Josh Klein thinks he has an easy open undercut, and then you see William Kasperzicki come out of nowhere with a layout grab, leading to, I think, an AlleyCats score right after that. So again, we have another look at it from the left side of your screen, out of nowhere. Great layout by William Kasperzicki.
That was the layout ultimate grip catch of the half. Layout ultimate, what the pros wear. Layout ultimate would like to give you a pair of gloves to a viewer. Tweet at universe_point using the hashtag layout ultimate and tell us why you want some gloves. We will pick a winner in the fourth quarter. Just about ready to start the second half here, Blake and the AlleyCats. Nice job at the end of that first half to put some points on the board. They have a 2-point lead here going into the third.
Yeah, big half for them. Again, this is a playoff team they're playing against, and they can't make the playoffs, but they are working towards future years and developing talent. So, again, they've got a lot of pride. They're coming out here giving the wind chill a good game so far, and hopefully coming out with a win.
Just about ready for the second half. The wind chill will pull to the AlleyCats here. Sun just about down here at Roncalli High School. AlleyCats in the green, wind chill in the white. And the pull is away. Taken by the AlleyCats and Plu. Oscar drops it, and the wind chill will take over. Wind chill going for that quick score on the first pass, and it is complete in the end zone as Minnesota gets the score.
Not a great start for the AlleyCats. Spencer kind of with the reverse bookends there. He dropped the disc and then he gets scored on in the end zone. That's probably not his proudest moment, but I'm sure he'll come back and make up for it later on. But right now they're subbing in Jake Fella to take that spot.
Wind chill will pull to the AlleyCats now. Both teams getting set. And the wind chill with the pull. Bounces a little bit, taken by the AlleyCats. Plu has it. Up to Cox, back to Plu. Cox over on the left side to Brock. To the middle of the field now. As now Brock has it. Gross now. To Plu. Fella. To about midfield. Carpenter going deep. That's going to be too far for Carpenter. And the wind chill will take over. Over on the right side. Two players jockeying for position. And Kettleson cannot come up with the grab there for the wind chill. Gross on defense there for the AlleyCats.
Fortunate for the AlleyCats, it looked like a little bit of a misread by both players. I think that's probably what threw him off and made him drop it.
AlleyCats have it now. Plu controls. Over to Gross, back to Plu. Plu finds Schwartz. Pass taken by the wind chill. Minnesota down by 1. As that is too far. Both teams having some trouble here at the beginning of the second half.
I think Jay Drescher has fallen a little bit too in love with his backhand, throwing up 2 kind of jump balls that have not been very accurate or where he meant to put them.
Plu has it. Now to Gross. Fella. Carpenter, pass deflected.
Jay Drescher probably heard me talking about him and decided to get a D back so that he doesn't look terrible in this play.
Wind chill back the other way. And a timeout.
Timeout. Minnesota.
Smart strategy there from Minnesota. They were gassed, so they want to get 7 fresh guys on. AlleyCats will do the same, and it'll almost be like we're just restarting the point. All those turnovers that have already happened don't mean anything. Got some fresh players out there. It's still a huge point, though, for the wind chill. If they get this, then it's tie ball game.
If either team gets a Callahan in today's game, 5 Ultimate will offer a 10% discount from their store for the next 24 hours. If a Callahan happens, we will be given the code and share it with our viewers.
All right, coming back with the disc here. We got the wind chill close to midfield. This is Heath Shanahan filling in for Jared Boomer, who had to step away. Having a hard time seeing who is on with the disc right now. Josh Klein with the disc, getting ready to, waiting for the whistle to check it in. Some physical play downfield. Oscar puts up number 4, Greg Cousins. Winchell content to swing it back and forth. Waiting for play to develop downfield. Josh Klein back with the disc again. Again, going back and forth with Austin Lean, waiting for a play to develop downfield. He gets the cut from Ryan Osgar. John Jones with a layout attempt. Comes up empty-handed. And Ryan Osgar with the score. That takes the Minnesota wind chill 15, AlleyCats 15, tie it up with 7:40 left to go in the quarter.
Yeah, good offense there from the Minnesota wind chill. They got 7 fresh players out there, and were able to work it up the field. You see the replay here. Nice strike throw, strike cut, right into the end zone for Ryan Oscar.
So the AlleyCats were up 2 at halftime. Have given away both of those, back to 15 all. You know, it started out, we thought the AlleyCats were going to score, 24 to 30 point range. Right now held at 15.
Yeah, I think after 1 it was 8 points, so they're on pace for a 40-point game. And then, now definitely doesn't look like that right now.
Plenty of time for both teams to get back into it. As you can see, the wind chill have already. Plu picks up the disc, puts it upfield to Carpenter, who gives it to Cox. So quickly, the AlleyCats have already picked up 30 yards. Aaron Schwartz underneath. Looking for Carpenter. We got a whistle and a stall called.
Some good defense there by the wind chill, not allowing Travis Carpenter to get open for that reset, and Aaron Schwartz had no other option.
Wind chill already past midfield, threatening the red zone. That's Danny Cullum. Over to Anthony Paletto. First time I've heard his name called tonight. Got a hammer from Colin Berry. I'm sorry, no, a column from Eric Johnson to Colin Berry in the end zone. So the D-line comes through again.
Not a great start for the AlleyCats. This is the worst start imaginable out of the second half. To be up by 2 and now down by 1. 3 straight points for the Minnesota wind chill. I'm a little surprised we don't see something like a timeout or something just to kind of reset the AlleyCats, get them refocused. But it looks like they're bringing in some new players to try to get some fresh legs out there and maybe some intensity and some enthusiasm.
Yeah, 5.5 minutes gone in the second quarter. This is not the way the AlleyCats wanted to start.
I can't remember a time when they have not scored in a 5.5 minute span during a game all year.
So now's the Cats' chance to right the ship here. Big pull comes down to Palou, who looks upfield to Ames right away. Granholm makes a side-to-side cut. Ames found nothing, back to Palou. Wind chill playing some smothering defense there on the handlers. Turnover by the Cats. Eric Johnson slowly walks out to pick up the disc. Danny Cullum. There's another score by the wind chill, Danny Cullum.
Again, I'm a little surprised there's no timeout call or anything right now. It looks like the AlleyCats offense is going back out there for another point. 4 straight points for the Minnesota wind chill. Right now they're just playing physical defense. They're kind of known for their physicality, and they're getting into the AlleyCats' head.
And there was a timeout called there by Coach Eric Leonard, and he's out in the middle of the field talking to the refs. Looks like he is trying to plead for some contact calls.
Yeah, that physicality that I said they're known for, you know that's going to happen every time you play against a Minnesota team. They like playing physical. They're fine with you playing physical back, but it can get into your head if you're not used to it.
Hand-me-down car. First used but new to you car. First actual new car. When things change, your insurance should too. Visit infarmbureau.com for a free quote or to find your local Indianapolis area agent. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood.
All right, 5:48 to go left in the third quarter. AlleyCats 15, Minnesota wind chill 17. When we started this quarter, it was Cats 15, wind chill 13. So 4 unanswered goals by the wind chill. They're pulling to the Cats.
If you notice, the temperature has dropped a little bit. That's why I'm happy I'm wearing my Daywalker hoodie from 5 Ultimate.
Oh, yeah.
Not only is it stylish, but it keeps me a little warm as the temperature drops a little bit.
Looks good on you as well. Made out of the same material as the Hydro shorts.
Yeah, feels comfortable. Keeps me warm. Can't say enough good things about it.
Yeah, thank you 5 Ultimate for sending that your way. A little jealous over here. I'm just in a regular old polo. A little chilly almost in this press box. Major temperature drop up here from earlier in the game. We had the wind blowing in the windows and the heat coming in, and you know, it's definitely dropped. Looking at the thermometer, I've got 75 degrees out when I think we started the game at about 85, so it's probably a little warmer down there on the field right now, but up here in the press box it has chilled off just a little bit. All right, Jay Drescher with the pull. Like you said, AlleyCats offense back on the field. Pull comes down, hits the ground. Kyle Cox going to pick up. Travis Carpenter making the first move, and a turnover right away.
Jay Drescher showing off his defensive ability. He's another one of those guys that kind of stuffs the stat sheets with Ds and does everything for this D-line.
There was a whistle, and Minnesota's walking it back. I think I heard the PA guy mention a sideline violation maybe. And there's a quick score by number 2, Ben Feldman. So yes, absolutely terrible start to the second quarter for the AlleyCats. 6 minutes and 35 seconds gone by. Take a look at the replay here. Eric Johnson just has a easy little flick there to Ben Feldman in the end zone.
Yeah, the AlleyCats have to stop the bleeding. They need to make some sort of call. I don't know, some sort of set play off of the line just so that they feel comfortable and they know who they're going to be throwing to. This is not the way you want to start, but they need to take advantage of mismatches. I think on that last point, Cameron Brock was being guarded by somebody who was at least 5 or 6 inches shorter than him, and he can usually beat those guys even if they're pretty fast vertically. So take a shot. Don't turn it over in your own red zone. Do something a little bit differently.
Not only 5 or 6 inches in height, but probably 5 or 6 more inches in vertical.
Yep.
So AlleyCats come back. Rick Gross to Spencer Loskar. Loskar surveying, swings it back to Gross in midfield. Loskar to Cox. Now Aaron Schwartz on the sideline. He steps around, finds Loskar. Loskar to Plew. There it was. Stop the bleeding just like you asked for.
Yeah, I couldn't tell who that was, either Aaron Schwartz or Spencer Loskar out of that double team. That was the key throw there to get it around. Let's see, we've got it on replay right here. Aaron
so it's Schwartz, and he steps right through the middle of him.
Yep. Great throw right there, and then it's just a 2-on-1, and Keenan gets open in a tight space.
All right, we're going to give you a hint. The first recorded assist in AlleyCat history. That player is still on the AlleyCat roster.
So Keenan Plew walking back to the sideline. You know he's a fierce competitor. You know this start is not gonna sit well with him.
I think he was on the field for every single one of those points, and that's the type of player he is. And when something bad is happening, he doesn't want to leave the field. He wants to try to make up for it, and he's one of those players that has enough stamina that he can continue playing lots of points in a row. He doesn't want to because that means they're getting scored on, but if he needs to, he can.
Absolutely, and I know that they made a big emphasis in the offseason of conditioning. I mean, obviously Keenan's been in great condition his entire career in the AUDL, but as a team, you will not see anybody out there breathing hard, our hands or arms on the knees. They're all in the best condition they can be in. So wind chill. Number 11, Josh Klain with the big backhand huck falls to the turf, looking for Ryan Oscar. Jake Fella with the picking up the disc. Not quite sure who he was going for there.
I'm not even sure that was a miscommunication. I just don't think anyone was open over there.
Not sure if he was high in the stall count either.
Yeah.
Right. Josh Klain on the sideline. Oh, Jake Fella with the layout D. Dana Granholm picks it up, centers it to Connor Henderson.
I like the matchup, though, here with Jake Fella. If he can work his way downfield against Josh Klain, he's got both height and athleticism over him. Again, I think he should try to push upfield because he's going to be a deep threat.
John Jones underneath. Gets hit from behind. Caleb Denacor calls a foul on himself. Not sure if that's what prompted the whistle, but there was a whistle for contact. John Jones will keep the disc. And there's Jake Fella working deep. Coming in the under. Able to shield the defender off. Connor Henderson That's a score. So there's a break back that the AlleyCats needed. Some momentum they can hopefully continue to build on.
Yep, Jake Fella had the turnover early in the point, but he was able to get it back with a nice D. And then you see him here at the end of the play, throwing it to one of the younger guys on the team, Connor Henderson, a Center Grove alum. There's a lot of those on the team, but he's one of the more recent ones who's definitely a talented player and is a promising prospect for future seasons to be a big part of this team.
And here's a look at the layout D by Jake Fella. Just gets his arm right there underneath Ryan Oscar's outstretched arms.
All right, AlleyCat fans, if you want to see some more of that defensive action, close together, let us hear you roar!
Hopefully the AlleyCats have settled in here. They didn't have a great start, but they've gotten 2 points back here. Now they get another D-line out. Hopefully Minnesota's offense is a little tired from that last point, and they can take advantage.
Winchell working the disc through their handlers, looking upfield. Found the under from Oscar. Oscar double teamed, looking for an open man. Playing Josh Klain on the far sideline. Austin Lean with the strike cut. Austin Lean looking for a dump, finally found it, and it's a turnover. We've got a man streaking deep. Zach Zebarth, I believe, streaking deep there. AlleyCats decide to slow it down.
Probably a smart decision. I don't think many of the people that passed the disc were throwers there, so probably a good decision to wait and let a handler pick it up.
Donovan Triplett with the hard forehand over to John Wenger. There's just a bobble by Carpenter and then can't quite recover.
Tough throw. Probably not where he was expecting the throw to be. It was a small space. He probably thought it was going to be an easy enough throw. It was at his chest, but it popped up, and yeah.
Did he stay in bounds? He did. It's that Caleb Dinacore with another score on the far sideline. Makes it 19-17.
AlleyCats did a good job of getting the disc there. They just, on offense, again, one little miscue, and all that work that you've done before then doesn't really matter. So the Winchell get it back. Tight throw or into a small space, but Caleb Dinacore comes down with it. It's awfully nice to be able to pick up the leading scorer from another team mid-season.
Yeah, absolutely.
And add him to an already really talented roster.
I believe he was the second leading scorer in the league last year as well for the Soul. So, yeah, not picking up a quite the receiver mid-season is. And I know that he communicated with the Soul and the Winchell, knowing that he was likely going to be moving up to Minnesota mid-season. So there was no, hey, I'm leaving a Soul team who has one win to come to a, at that time undefeated Winchell team. Keenan Plewitt handles the pull up to Travis Carpenter, who sees none other than Cameron Brock going deep. When we talk about league leaders in scoring, Cameron to Spencer Lascar for the score. Now there's a quick score the AlleyCats really needed, because that only took maybe 10 seconds off the clock. We're at a minute 14, and they're only down 1 after being down, 3 or 4.
Yeah, that's the type of play that can get the whole team excited. You see Cameron Brock skying over the defender and then just flipping it easy to Spencer Lascar for the goal. Something like that can, get the D-line pumped up. Hopefully everyone gets on board and is intense for this next point.
However, what that does, the quick point, does not allow the defense to sit and rest for very long. So I'm seeing a few new faces now on that D-line with Levi Jacobs and Colin Ringwood and Dana Granholm. coming out to be on the D-line now, which, all starters, however, not playing that last D point.
Mm-hmm.
Pull lands out of bounds. Josh Klein will take it to the brick. Ooh, right away, Ryan Oscar puts it deep. Kasper Zicky's there to almost mack it right into the Winchell player's hand, and then quickly picks it up. Dana's able to get there and get underneath it. Up to Connor Henderson. Levi Jacobs with a good upcut. He sees Jake Fella. Now that is a throw that he will put all day to Fella, who brings it down a couple yards from the front of the end zone, who puts it to John Jones for the score. So right there, AlleyCats tie the score up, 35 seconds to go. This game's been back and forth.
Yeah, Levi Jacobs has kind of been the gunslinger for the AlleyCats tonight. He's made a lot of the bigger throws. He's had at least 3 or 4 huge hucks for the AlleyCats. And again, Jake Fella has that mismatch, and vertically he's going to come down with that. So great job by him. And then John Jones right there for that drop-off goal.
So Levi Jacobs, every game, is one of those players who will look deep and is not afraid to put it deep. Him and Nick Hutton on that D-line. Nick Hutton not playing tonight. However, nothing against Levi, but sometimes he's about 50-50 on those. Tonight he's been very, very accurate, and it's been tremendous for that D-line.
When it works, you're happy about it, yeah, but when it doesn't, it can sometimes bite you. So.
Absolutely. I believe he was the one who put that big jump ball that John Wenger ended up coming down with, and I believe I saw Levi said, I meant to do that.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
Yep, definitely.
All right, Winchell pick up the disc 5 yards out of their end zone. Content to swing it back and forth again. Josh Klein, and I believe that is number 14, Austin Lean. We've seen them go back and forth quite a bit tonight. AlleyCats playing very hard man defense downfield.
Looks like they're leaving one person open as Rick Gross just kind of hangs out back.
Jimmy Kittles puts it up as the clock expires. And it goes out of bounds. So into the third quarter, Cats come back to make the score 19-19 after leading 15-13 at the end of the second quarter. We'll take a quick break. You're watching the Minnesota Winchell versus the Indianapolis AlleyCats on UniversePointProductions.com, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
First apartment. Dog named Bella. Boyfriend, TJ. With the sweet ride and the bad secrets. Exit TJ. Hey, it's Eric. Wedding, Eric Jr., new house. Luckily, once a year, Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance checks to see if we're paying too much or cover too little.
Find an agent and stop knocking on wood.
And we're back. Minnesota Winchell 19, Indianapolis AlleyCats 19. 12 minutes to go. Here we are in the fourth quarter, Blake.
Yeah, with the way that quarter started, the AlleyCats have to be awfully happy to be tied at this point. Again, against a playoff caliber team, a team that they have not beaten in my recent memory for a long time, and a team that they're always close with, but can never quite get over that hump. There's been a number of times when they've lost games by 1 or 2 goals against this team, and so right now they're talking about how that's all in the past. This is our night. This is our quarter. We're not playing for anything specifically, just for pride, and we want to beat that team over there that we're playing against.
Absolutely. So the winner of the Layout Ultimate Gloves is Jonathan Abraham. Congratulations and enjoy the Layout Gloves. Layout Ultimate, what the pros wear. So both teams are in their huddle. The Winchell just broke, headed towards the sideline or the end zone to your right. AlleyCats still in their huddle. talking about not giving up, I'm sure. They went down 3 or 4, came all the way back, tie it up. They will be pulling to the wind chill here, so they're going to have to get a break to win this game.
Yeah, this is where good decisions are really going to be highlighted, or bad decisions are going to be the turning point in the game. So the AlleyCats have to go into this with, okay, every decision I make is going to be 100%, no questionable throws, and if they do, then they'll have a good opportunity to win this game.
All right, as we await the first pull, today's broadcast is brought to you by Zigzag Ultimate. Zigzag Ultimate runs youth camps and adult clinics in Grand Rapids, Michigan, offering both overnight and day camp options. Campers will be coached by some of the best players in the world, including the AlleyCats' own Travis Carpenter. Find out more at zigzagultimate.com. And the first pull of the fourth quarter goes up. Wind chill bring it down. Before Greg Cousins with the disc on the far sideline. Puts it upfield to Ryan Osgar. Osgar over to Josh Klain. Vanuka with the disc. Swings it to Josh Klain. Jake Fellow with the attempt there, the layout against Ryan Osgar. Swings it to Klain, who puts it up for Caleb Dinacor, who has to adjust and cannot bring it down. So there's the turn the AlleyCats needed to have a chance to come back and take a lead again. Michael Ames with the disc, waiting for somebody to make a cut. Swings it over to Donovan Triplett. Back to Ames. Sees Winger. Winger has Fella in front of him, decides to swing it to Ames. Not a lot of movement for Ames, who has to force it over to Triplett. Ames back to Triplett. Still not a lot of movement downfield. This would be an opportunity for a timeout, in my opinion. Yes, and there it is. That's the AlleyCats' final timeout, however.
I think it was a veteran move. This is an important point. And with all those swings that you were seeing in the backfield, no one was really getting open downfield. The cutters were not creating any space. And so the handlers were doing a good job of just resetting the stall count and trying to give the cutters more time to get open. But if it's not happening, then you got to get a timeout called and 7 new players on the field.
Five Ultimate usually has a bunch of crazy patriotic designs for the 4th of July, but this year, due to the current political climate, they decided to go a new direction with a line of protest gear. This week's giveaway item is a pair of Persist Hydro shorts. Tweet at universe_point and tell us why you want the shorts using the hashtag HuckHate to win the shorts. And don't forget, you can always shop the full 5 Ultimate Independence Day line at store.5ultimate.com. We will select a winner of the shorts before the end of the game. Thank you, as always, 5 Ultimate. So the AlleyCats offense is back on the field. Talking to the refs to figure out what's going on. Now, that stall count was getting high on Ames, but when they called timeout, that resets the stall count. So who is picking up the disc right now? Kyle Cox will get a full 7 seconds to get the disc off. Kyle Cox waiting for the whistle. There it is. Swings to Cameron Brock. Brock surveying the field. Finds Keenan. Keenan with the overhead scooper to Travis Carpenter, who puts it deep to Rick Gross, who's had position but just misread it slightly. The disc falls to the turf. Eric Johnson picks it up. Colin Berry with the disc puts it deep for number 22, who's trying to track it down, McCutcheon, and cannot get it before it goes out the back of the end zone. So the Cats have another chance here with 10 minutes to go on the clock. That disc sitting back in the back on the track here at the football field at Roncalli Stadium.
A little bit of a delay because the referee has to run all the way back to get it.
Yeah, usually the referee has a second disc waiting for him. It looked like they might have used that previously. Keenan Plew with the disc on the goal line. Finds Rick Gross, the defender right on his hip. Gross back to Plew. Plew puts it up to Lascar, who tries to find Rick Gross in power position, who puts it back over to Keenan Plew. Some better downfield movement now from the AlleyCats. Brock finds Aaron Schwartz, who puts it upfield to Keenan Plew, who throws a low huck to a streaking Lascar, who pulls it down and then gives it to Rick Gross, who whiffs the first time but somehow still pulls it down.
I don't know what I just saw.
No, I also.
Great play by Spencer Lascar to come down with the somewhat questionable throw there from Keenan. But then when he puts it up, Rick Gross looks like he has it the whole way and then catches it on the second attempt.
You could say second attempt, yeah. Fell right into his breadbasket. So I believe that is number 50 for Rick Gross on the season. We had a little bit of discussion at halftime whether or not he's had one or two, but regardless, that's the most important he's had tonight.
Yeah, gives the AlleyCats the lead again. Gets that D-line back out there, ready to play.
So the Winchell offense back on the field. Josh Klain, Austin Lean leading the charge down in the backfield. That's Ryan Oscar with the disc. Colin Ringwood deflects it, but right into the hands of Josh Klain. Caleb Denacor. Oh, again, I apologize. Greg Cousins. They keep wanting to give Caleb more and more scores. Ties the score up at 20-20. 8 minutes, 20 seconds to go.
AlleyCats with a lot of opportunities there. I think Colin Ringwood had one tip of the disc off of a potential poach D, and John Jones at the end with a nice layout bid, but Winchell end up with the score.
Today's broadcast is sponsored by Dr. John Rimple and Health Zone Chiropractic. Proud to support and provide peak performance for Ultimate in Central Indiana. Visit us online at healthzonechiro.net. That's healthzonechiro.net.
Winchell pull comes down to Keenan Plew, who goes upfield to Travis Carpenter. On the field is two major deep threats, three for the AlleyCats with Cameron Brock, Jake Fella, and Rick Gross, and all three of them fake a deep cut.
Did he catch that? No.
Yeah, that's down. Travis Carpenter with a layout attempt to save that disc, and it hits the turf. The Winchell defense with a chance with the disc now. Brian Schoenrock with the disc at midfield. Going over to number 54, Dylan DeClerc, who was the first Winchell player here today. He drove himself and ended up beating the bus because it was stuck in traffic. Looks like Schoenrock handling the disc here on defense. Jake Fellow with a little bit of a tough bid.
Contact call against the AlleyCats.
Tries to apologize. Doesn't look like Jay Drescher has any interest in hearing it. Drescher goes over the top to number 12, Danny Cullum.
Winchell with an interesting strategy. They brought Schoenrock back handling for most of that point, and Jay Drescher was downfield cutting. Those are usually two guys that you see doing the opposite. But once Jay Drescher finally got the disc, he decided, I want to be a handler again, and he throws it into the end zone for the goal.
DiscStore.com is a proud supporter and sponsor of this broadcast. Pick up your next disc from DiscStore.com. DiscStore.com provides the best prices on team jerseys guaranteed. Ask about the AUDL discount at DiscStore.com.
So the Winchell take the lead back 21-20 with 6:49 to go in the fourth quarter. You know, I had a feeling that this game was going to be close. I didn't know 19-19 at the end of the third quarter. It's going to be the score. And only 3 points scored in this in this quarter so far. Keenan Plew takes the disc to the brick mark when the pull went out of bounds. Plew surveys the field. Sees Jacobs. Jacobs playing O-line right now. And we see him put it again to Rick Gross. Now that's definitely 50. Regardless of our count, that is definitely over 50.
Again, Levi Jacobs showing why I'm calling him the gunslinger. He's the one who's most willing to put it deep whenever you see somebody going deep. Here you see him make the catch, and then right away he's got that backhand that he loves, and Rick Gross going to catch it. That's usually a good decision.
So Jacobs to Rick Gross to tie the score up, 21-21. Now it looks like both teams are starting to get a little chippy with each other as well. As we know from previous matchups with the Winchell, like you said, they are a physical team, and they try to be physical purposefully, never breaking the rules per se, but you know, just making sure that they are letting you know that they're there and they're going to be physical. And sometimes, you know, some players can take that the wrong way, and we'll see. Hopefully, cooler heads can prevail the rest of this game. Number 11, Josh Klein with the disc. Austin Lean back there with him. And there's Caleb.
May have been.
Yeah, I'm not sure who that was that bailed him out. It's hard to read these numbers. There's Caleb Dynacore. Puts it up and over a laying out Casper Zicki.
Greg Cousins, I think, with the score there. Again, another one of those throws that goes up, and the Winchell have bailed out their throwers at least 3 or 4 times this game, where you're thinking, oh, that's definitely a turnover, and then another Winchell player is right behind and makes the catch. Unfortunate for the AlleyCats, but you've got to have your head on a swivel, and you've got to have good communication from the sideline when those throws go up and they're still hanging there. Got to turn around and knock them down.
We have an autograph program up here. It's an official AUDL program autograph by some of your AlleyCats. I will trade it for a mini disc. All you got to do is come up to the booth. We will trade your mini disc for an autographed AUDL program.
So here we go, 6:06 left in the fourth quarter. Winchell lead by 1. Keenan Plew brings down the pull. Up to Kyle Cox. Little high release backhand to Travis Carpenter, who finds Spencer Loskar. 4 throws. The Cats are down the field, and there is Rick Gross looking for Cameron Brock, but Cameron Brock went the wrong direction.
Big point for the AlleyCats here. They got to get this back. A 2-goal lead for the wind chill is not what you need right now, especially with the clock ticking down, under 6 minutes left.
Oh, there's a D in the end zone by Spencer Loskar. Keenan Palou going to pick it up. Palou looks for Brock, who makes the little okey doke and gets open, and there's that classic connection you love talking about.
Yeah. I couldn't tell when the AlleyCats got the disc back. Jay Drescher looked pretty upset. I couldn't tell whether it was the throw or whether it was Spencer Loskar's defense. I don't know whether he thought it was maybe a little too physical, but yeah, you see Cameron Brock getting open in a small space, making the defender not look stupid, but look I don't know how to put it. He did a good job getting open. That's what we'll say.
Well, the defender was playing face defense, so he was facing Cameron, who Keenan just has to pick a spot and put it, because that defender has no idea where Keenan's going to throw it.
Yeah, the disc can be right next to him, and if you're staring at the person you're defending, then you're not going to be able to knock it down because you don't know where it is.
Just under 5 minutes to go. Game is tied. Ryan Oscar. The low throw by the wind chill falls to the turf. Michael Ames over to Kasper Zicki, who's looking for someone cutting. Not a lot of movement downfield. Kasper Zicki sees Jake Fella, who pulls it down over the defender. And then gets a strip or contact. I'm not sure what the actual call is there. But Jake Fella making a big play there to pull it down. And has the disc midfield on the goal line. Dumps it to Ames. Ames over to Jacobs, who finds Kasper Zicki in the end zone. That's a big play.
Yeah, and Jake Fella coming down with a huge sky. And after that, the AlleyCats are nice and patient, work it around. Let's see if we
Here's a replay of the sky right here. Kasper Zicki puts up a questionable one, but Jake Fella goes right over the top.
Defender had really good position on that as well. Jake Fella is just able to position his body and reach out with long arms and grab it around him.
And then the scorer, Michael Ames, over to Levi, who gives it right to number 30, Kasper Zicki, for the score. Okay, well, no bigger play than that for the AlleyCats. Now let's see what the wind chill can do to counter that. 3:36 left to go. AlleyCats up 1. Cats playing a hard man D in the end zone. Caleb Denacor with the disc. Ryan Oscar on the sideline gives it over to Austin Lean, who puts it over to Matt Burkhart, who puts it up but right into the waiting hands of the younger Kasperzicki, I believe. Or no, is that Josh Duncan?
I think that may have been Josh Duncan.
Carpenter with the cheeky throw there to Ringwood. Winger, about 10 yards from the end zone, dumps it to Carpenter. And the grab right there by Connor Henderson.
D-line coming up big there. And again, Connor Henderson making plays as a young guy. Looks promising for the future of the AlleyCats.
Absolutely, and that's the type of play they need from the young guys. Like you were saying earlier, this is a rebuilding, not rebuilding, I'm sorry. This is playing for the future now. And getting playing time for the Zach Zebarths and the Connor Hendersons and the younger Kasperzicki and seeing them out there making plays is exactly what the AlleyCats need and want to see.
Yeah, they can't change the fact that they're not in the playoffs anymore. Again, this is all about pride and all about going forward and getting better for the future. And you see younger guys stepping up, and if you're an AlleyCats fan, that's promising and makes you excited about seasons to come.
All right, let's hear you roar!
Danny Colon brings down the pull. Swings it to Eric Johnson. That went right through the hands of Greg Cousins. Haven't seen many errors out of Greg tonight. Michael Ames struts to the disc, picks it up. The Cats can take their time and swing it quite a bit, but then there's just an unforced error by Donovan Triplett. Danny Cullen picks it up and puts it right at, oh. How many times have we seen those tips that just about fall into the hands, or sometimes do fall in the hands of the wind chill?
Too often.
Kasperzicki decides to holster it, even though we had a streaky man downfield, and then puts a high release to Josh Duncan, which gets D'd. And there's another disc on the field, but John Jones with a big defense there.
An entertaining point, but not the cleanest of points.
Yeah.
Not the highest level of ultimate being played, but again, it's fun to watch.
Another layout D. We're under a minute now on the clock. Winchell need to have a little bit of hurry up. Eric Johnson swings to Danny Cullum, who gives it to, I believe, Ryan Oscar in the end zone. So 45 seconds left. The AlleyCats lead by 1.
If you're the AlleyCats right now, I think what you've got to focus on, as we see this replay where the Winchell work it into that tight space and get a score here. If you're the AlleyCats, you've got to focus on recognizing that they're probably going to be playing hard defense under, and they're going to let a deep shot go up. So if that presents itself, you got to have the right person with the disc, and they have to be making a good throw, throwing out to space to a good receiver that can run down and get it. But if not, then you've got to be ready to play defense as well.
All right, 45 seconds to go. Jay Drescher does the roller pull. It's going to be right short of midfield.
They're shortening up the field so that if the AlleyCats are going to score, then it's going to be a quick score, and they'll still have time to come back on offense.
Keenan Plew picks it up. Throws a hammer to Spencer Loskar, who drops it. 39 seconds. Eric Johnson picks up the disc. The Winchell still have 1 timeout. Short of the end zone. And there's the timeout. So costly drop there by the AlleyCats. 27 seconds left. Timeout by the Wind Chill to get their offense back on the field.
I won't be surprised if the Wind Chill want to talk about possibly eating up some of this clock to try to make it so that the AlleyCats don't have much time coming out after this point. So if the Wind Chill score, the Wind Chill will have to be pulling to the AlleyCats. If they can somehow work it down to under 10 seconds, then it's going to be really tough for the AlleyCats to get a good look into the end zone.
But at the same time, that's a risky strategy to imply here, because if you swing it a couple times, that's more chances for you to drop that disc.
That's true.
So it is high risk, high reward almost, because you do want to leave as little clock as possible, but at the same time, you got to score.
Yep. I mean, if someone's open right away, they're going to throw it to them.
Absolutely.
That's going to be the right play here. But if they can work down some clock, again, I think it probably gives them the best chance to win. With the good offenses in this league, if you give them more than 15 seconds, then they can do anything they want and work it down pretty patiently, making good decisions. And more often than not, the offense is going to score.
All right, waiting for the disc the whistle to blow to resume play. Here, Josh Klain has the disc. Austin Lane in the backfield with him. Looks like they look for the quick score, and they get it by Ryan Oscar. I don't know if any time went off the clock there, because the play doesn't start until that first catch of the disc. The clock doesn't start running until the first catch of the disc, and it was in the end zone. So no time comes off the clock. 26 seconds left. The quick, I guess, high release. Here's the replay. Lefty backhand from Josh Klain to Ryan Oscar. Now what this does is gives the AlleyCats 26 seconds to march it down the field. And looking out on the line right now, they've got Plew, Carpenter, Jacobs, Cox, Fella, Brock, and Gross. So Spencer Loskar has a seat after that unfortunate drop last point.
If I had to guess, this is probably Coach Leonard's top line. If they're going to a 7-person line, especially on offense, these are the guys that he's going to put in every single time to win the game.
So the roller pull goes out of bounds. Kyle Cox walks over to pick it up. Looks like they're going to trap him hard on the sideline. Keenan Plew back there for the dump. Got Rick Gross coming in for the in cut, but they decide to swing to Keenan Plew, who gives it to Jake Fella. 20 seconds left. Jake Fella finds Travis Carpenter, who drops it. There's the hammer up. And Jake Fella there, the big D, 5 seconds to go, gives it to Cox, who has the strength to put it the length of the field. Rick Gross is down there. And it's like we're going to overtime. So the last home game at Roncalli Stadium for the 2017 season goes to overtime.
Yeah, again, not the prettiest ultimate, but it is entertaining. 24-24. Now we get 5 minutes in this overtime period. Both teams have got to be really tired, and it's been a long night. It's been a hot day. So, again, you got to keep your fluids up. You got to be drinking a lot, and it's 5 minutes left for the last home game, and the AlleyCats definitely want to win.
Absolutely. We'll take a quick break. You're watching the Minnesota Wind Chill versus the Indianapolis AlleyCats on UniversePointProductions.com, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
Cheap furniture. Nice game system. New job. Steady girlfriend. Wedding. Dog that serves as a practice child. Little kid. Little kids. Oh. Big kids. Big changes. So, once a year, Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance checks to see if we're paying too much or covered too little.
Find an agent and stop knocking on wood.
And we're back. 24-24. We are in overtime. First off, let's announce the winner of the 5 Ultimate Persist Hydro Shorts is Spencer Roberts. Congratulations and enjoy the sweet swag from 5 Ultimate. And as always, I want to say thank you to all of our sponsors this year. We've had just a great collection of sponsors that you see at the beginning and the end of every broadcast and in between. We couldn't do broadcasts like this without them. As you probably understand, live broadcasts of any sort are expensive, and we've just had some great sponsors this year really step up and help us cover these costs. So we thank you for that, and we hope to do this again next year, and hopefully we can talk to these sponsors again, and if they like the product we put out there, and hopefully we're helping them as well. So as always, I know the Ultimate community is very loyal and faithful to those who are in the community as well. So please, go out and support BE Ultimate and support 5 Ultimate and Disc Store, all those great companies, and Layout Ultimate who have stuck with us this whole year, and we really appreciate that. So we got 5 minutes in this overtime, and if this 5 minutes, which we have learned in the very first game of the AUDL ever against the Columbus Cranes and the Indianapolis AlleyCats, after this first overtime, we go to sudden death, which is pretty exciting. I remember that game well. It was in Columbus. I was watching from my home. It was the first time I ever rented a pay-per-view Ultimate, and I was watching on what I thought was a big screen 32-inch TV at the time, and watching Keenan and Cam and Goose and Brody and all those guys out there in the rain. That was exciting, and who knows, maybe we'll see another one here tonight 5 years later.
Yeah, a long way to get there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, so there's the pull. The wind chill receive first. They've got their offense out on the field. They center it to Austin Lean, who, of course, gives it back to Josh Klain, who those two have been nonstop all day. Austin Lean looking at field. Doesn't see anybody. Over to Josh Klain. Gives it to Matt Burkhart. Low throw, but taken in by number 3, who puts it out. Oh, it's bobbled. Was he in? They're calling him out. Hold on. Now there's a discussion.
I'm guessing that what they're going to call is
a push out.
A push out, yeah. And so the offensive player gets to take it at the center of the end zone.
Penalty against the AlleyCats.
Now we're back. A quick backhand from number 4. It's like Greg Cousins. I did not see who scored yet. Let's see if we can take a look at the replay and see who got that score. But Minnesota with the first score of the overtime. Takes a little over a minute off the clock. That was the 14, so Austin Lean comes out of his handler position and makes that first cut for the score.
It's so hard when you get on the end zone line with a talented thrower. The mark can only do so much in that situation, and again, so many people have that big backhand stretching throw where they can put it to space and kind of curve it into that area, and so it's just so hard when you get down there.
And that's incredibly hard to defend than when they can stretch out like that. You're only so big, and they know exactly what throw they're going to throw. So your arm span's only so long as a defender, and when they can step around you like that is hard to defend. So the pull goes up, coming down to the AlleyCats. Keenan Plew going to take it at the 5-yard line, gives it to Cox, who sees Brock. Swings it over to Keenan. It's a lot of open space out there. The cutters for the AlleyCats are starting really, really deep. And I'm sure that's to give a lot of space for the cutters, but no one's cutting. So Brock and Plew are having to swing it back and forth. Brock running out of time, gets it over to Laskar. Gives it up to Carpenter. Oh, Brock saves that one, but then throws a low throw, and Cox cannot hang on to it. Disc hits the turf. Winchell have a chance with 2 minutes and 50 seconds left to go up by 2. There's a whistle on the play. Looks like a contact foul on Carpenter.
Called against just the AlleyCats.
Clock is still running down to 2:30.
Timeout Minnesota.
Timeout Minnesota. So some sloppy play from the AlleyCats right in starting this this overtime. There's a couple of miscues there that you don't usually see, but tonight you have seen quite a few times. So it's been back and forth, and now the Wind Chill are bringing their offense out on the field, and they will have it on the goal line midfield.
Yeah, you've got to credit the Wind Chill defense. They've been smothering all night. What's been happening is the stack for the AlleyCats has been getting a little bit too deep. So when that's the case, some of those open cuts, they're open, but they're 40 yards away. And when both people are at a dead sprint, it's hard to kind of thread that needle when the defender can be closing in on that and possibly laying out.
All right, so Josh Klain has the disc, waiting for the whistle. Jake Fella with his long arm span in front of him. There's the whistle. And just a little backhand throw to Greg Cousins for the score. So the Wind Chill go up 2 with 2 minutes and 23 seconds left in this overtime. So here's the replay. Got Klain just steps around. That backhand that we've been talking about all night. And then an emphatic spike there by Greg Cousins. So nothing fancy about Minnesota's first 2 scores here. Just working the disc down the field the first point, and then having just the easy put in after the foul, and then here getting it right on the goal line after a poor turnover by the Cats, and then they just stuff it in again. So back-to-back points where the Wind Chill really looked pretty solid on their offensive line, and let's see what the AlleyCats can do here, getting their O-line back out there. Pull comes down to Keenan Plew. Gives it to Travis Carpenter. Again, not a lot of movement downfield. Looks like Ames is in there. Gives it to Aaron Schwartz. Aaron Schwartz we haven't seen a lot lately. I was wondering if maybe he was having some cramping issues. Carpenter. Midfield. Back to Plew. Plew puts it deep to Spencer Lascar, who loses it for a second.
And then he caught it.
He pulls it down, and both players go down, and both need help up, but it looks like both are walking off the field on their own power now. Let's take a look at that again. There's Keenan Plew with the big backhand hook to Spencer, who misses it, and somehow comes up with it.
I've now seen it twice, and the second time zoomed in, and I still don't know how I caught that.
And that's reminiscent. I played with Spencer Lascar a few years ago, and he had a layout score to win a game and landed on his shoulder, almost similar to that, and broke his collarbone and had to take a little bit of time off ultimate, but obviously came back and not afraid to go deep anymore.
Yeah, luckily he looks to be all right. Looks like he's talking about it on the sidelines about what just happened, because I don't think anyone in the stadium really knows how he caught that.
So the Wind Chill offense will not be in much of a hurry here with 1:44 to go. The score here would be huge for them. Brian Vanuka centers it to Josh Klain. And they're going to be content to swing it back and forth until they see somebody get open. And there's Travis Carpenter, the AlleyCats' best defender, is down there and is able to get the D. The minute and 14 seconds left. AlleyCats have the disc. I believe they have one timeout because each team got a timeout when the overtime started. And the AlleyCats decided to use it. Like you said many times again, not probably the most fundamental ultimate, but it's a very exciting ultimate.
Yeah, it's fun to watch. Big throws, big catches, tips everywhere, and people coming down with this that you don't imagine them being able to do that. And yeah, we're here at the end of overtime with the AlleyCats have a chance to tie it again. And I don't know whether you had some sort of premonition, but we have a chance to go into double overtime, and that would be a lot of fun.
Now here's that Spencer Loskar catch again, and I still don't understand how physics, gravity, anything works here, but he was able to come down with that all wrapped up inside. Again, I had a hard time seeing who the defender was also, but that was just a fantastic grab and a fantastic D also. He was there, he got the position, but Spencer somehow was able to come down with it.
Yeah, I think it was Brian Schoenrock who got position. Yeah, he was playing great defense. He misread it a little bit, and when that happened, I think it also caused Spencer to misread it. So both of their first attempts were no good, but when Spencer somehow came down with it in the second attempt.
So 58 seconds to go. AlleyCats with the disc.
All right, AlleyCat fans, if you want a tie game, let us hear it!
Looks like Keenan Plu's going to take the disc on the goal line. Levi Jacobs makes the in cut. Who then finds Jake Fell on the sideline. Levi takes his man deep. Jake Fella swings to Carpenter, who gives it up to Plu, who had Rick Gross for a moment, decided to look him off. Plu finds Jacobs across the field, who then puts it a little too much, and that he'll want that one back. He'll think about that one for a while. 24 seconds left. Couple of swings, and the wind chill will have this game. 17-16. There's a big hammer. And that is the game. Minnesota wind chill 26. Indianapolis AlleyCats 25. Now that was a fun game to watch.
It was a great game to watch.
Unfortunately, the Cats have to lose, but that was a fun game to watch.
Seems like that's a reoccurring theme throughout this season. Is the AlleyCats are close, they make things really interesting down. If you come to the game, you're never disappointed because it's always going to be a close game. The AlleyCats will be in it till the end, but yeah, it's disappointing.
And they will fight until the end. I mean, I saw no let up from any of the Cats there. So we'll take a quick break and we'll recap the game. You're watching the Minnesota Wind Chill versus the Indianapolis AlleyCats on UniversePointProductions.com, presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
First apartment. Dog named Bella. Boyfriend, TJ. With the sweet ride and the bad secrets. Exit TJ. Hey, it's Eric. Wedding, Eric Jr., new house. Luckily, once a year, Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance checks to see if we're paying too much or cover too little.
Find an agent and stop knocking on wood.
And we're back. So another close game with the wind chill. That seems to happen almost every time the Cats and the wind chill play. I know early this season they had a couple nail biters as well. So, always hard fought, always exciting. The AlleyCats never, like you said, ever fail to put on a good show.
Yeah, two things that I took away from this game. One is for Minnesota. A guy that was a little unheralded that we didn't talk about really at all, and that was because he was kind of shutting down his player away from the disc, was Charlie McCutcheon. was on Travis Carpenter actually most of the night, and Travis had a relatively quiet game because Charlie was showing his speed and his ability to kind of deny Travis the disc a lot of times. Another thing, Levi Jacobs, again, we talked about him being a gunslinger, and during the game or throughout the game, you can kind of live with those 50-50 shots, and more often than not tonight, it worked out for the AlleyCats. When you're in that situation, you've got to have a switch where you say, this is not the time for that 50-50 ball. We need to take the 100% throw, and we still have 20 seconds left. We can work this into the end zone. There's got to be a little bit of a different mindset that some of these younger guys are eventually going to learn, but they're close. And I honestly think they still have it in them to finish off these games, but they've got to get over that mental block.
Absolutely. So now let's take a look at our BE Ultimate Better Than Ever Play of the Game. Now there were a lot to choose from tonight, and even though with the loss for the AlleyCats, Blue puts it deep to Spencer Lascar, who loses it for a second.
And then he caught it. I have now watched it 5 or 6 times, and I still do not know how he caught it. But a great play by Spencer. Kept him in the game, made it interesting at the end.
That was our BE Ultimate Better Than Ever Play of the Game. BE Ultimate putting a different spin on ultimate apparel by focusing on high-performance fabrics, quality workmanship, and rapid turnaround time. They are ultimate players making ultimate gear for the ultimate community. Visit their website at beultimate.com. Well, Blake, another season down. I really appreciate having you up here in the booth. It's been a lot of fun. Thanks to Josh Boomer, who started the game with us. He was feeling a little sick, so he asked me if I could hop on the headset, and he ended up having to take off. And we wish him the best, of course. And this has been a fun year. 6 home games. That's a lot of ultimate online. So we really appreciate all the viewers out there that watch, and we, again, like I said, hope to be here next year. So
appreciate all that you do, Heath. You put on a great production along with the camera guys. Glad to be here anytime you want me, and it's been a lot of fun.
Absolutely. So yeah, we thank you to the AlleyCats, thank you to all of our sponsors, and thank you to those cameramen up top. They always do a fantastic job for us. So you were watching the Minnesota Wind Chill versus the Indianapolis AlleyCats on Universe Point Productions, brought to you by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
We would like to take a moment to thank our sponsors. Today's broadcast is presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Find your local Marion County agent at infarmbureau.com. Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Stop knocking on wood. Today's broadcast is also brought to you in part by Health Zone Chiropractic. Enter the zone of peak performance and all-around great health. 5 Ultimate, supporting Ultimate from the end zone to the dance floor. Disc Store, offering the best service and best price on ultimate gear guaranteed. BE Ultimate, ultimate players making ultimate gear for the ultimate community. Layout Ultimate, the most durable ultimate gloves. Layout Ultimate, what the pros wear. Indiana Ultimate Foundation, supporting ultimate at all levels in the state of Indiana. And of course, the Indianapolis AlleyCats.